says why? After all this time that we tried, I found out we were living a lie. And after all this love that we made, I know now you don't love me the same. Can't stop thinking about you when I call out your name. I think you're thinking of me too.
Ashanti Shaquoia Douglas, born October 13th, 1980. Immediately after opening an Ashanti discography, you're shocked to see an artist that you can feel has been much hotter for a much longer time. But only from 2002 through 2004 did she have a significant effect on R&B music. But in those 3 years, she's managed to go platinum 3 times on her 2002 debut and platinum in both 2003 and 2004. Her legacy can seem inflated because in the early 2000s, before G-Unit, Murder Inc. was the hottest upcoming label, with Ja Rule being the hottest, most ahead of his time rapper in the game that made a hit record literally every single he released from 2001 to 2004. The chemistry they both had on screen and in the studio was glove-fitting, and if they somehow could have held on to that a little longer, they both could have went down as the best-selling hip-hop and R&B artists of their generations. As a female singer without the most technical singing abilities, selling the most is a great place to land. I mean, is Drake the best singer or rapper? Yet he sells the most and flies on that magic carpet album after album into hip-hop greatness. But unlike being a male rapper, things aren't so cut and dry for female singers or females in entertainment at all. First off, let's all get on the same page so no one ends up canceled and everything is understood as us not living in a perfect world where we can skew reality to fit our own agendas. Men are powerful. Their power is physical and through their financial accomplishments. Women are powerful as well. One of their greatest powers is their beauty and the soft elegance they're blessed with naturally out the gate. There's nothing more soothing than the presence of an elegant, soft but firm, gorgeous with a little flirtatiousness, well put together, talented lady who knows what she wants and how to correctly inject herself into any setting. But we'd all be doing each other a disservice to say that those things aren't sometimes used in trade with men in power who have a natural weak spot for that kind of lady in furtherance of their careers. Some women take advantage of that fully and some to a certain extent, but show me one that hasn't ever used that at all in the business of entertainment. Ashanti benefited from being one of the more attractive females in the game in her prime before that was interrupted beginning in 2005 for a different entertainment path, and later again because she and Irv Gotti's business or otherwise relationship had quote ran its course, or were in two different places, or my views and philosophies and her views and philosophies are not meeting up, according to Irv. Either way, in the 2 to 3 years of Prime Ashanti, she had the chance to be one of the biggest artists of the 2000s and a pillar of R&B, even relevant to date. But for these growth stunts, that didn't happen. Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth Music. Let's get it, man. This video is sponsored by Loops for Producers, the #1 site to get sounds for your production. Simply click the genre and product that catches your eye. On the product page, listen to the demos and choose the sound option you want to purchase. After purchase, you will receive the digital download to the email you provided. Unzip the file and drag and drop the sounds into your DAW. Let the creative juices flow. Loops for Producers, the #1 site for sounds. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Ashanti is an R&B singer from Glen Clove, New York that kept her original name given by her parents in reference to the wealthy and sophisticated Ashanti Empire in Ghana that existed for 2,000 years. Her mother was the first to discover she had a singing talent and would place her in talent shows all over New York, but as a teen, it was difficult to find one consistent opportunity. Jive Records got wind of her, as well as Bad Boy Records, but none moved to sign her until Irv Gotti took her in and had her provide background vocals throughout his label and artists he worked with like Cadillac Ta and Big Pun. Her first national look came as a feature on Fat Joe's What's Love song in 2001 that stamped next to Beyonce, there was another beautiful upcoming songstress in the game. After she appeared on Ja Rule's Always on Time the same year, she blew up into the most sought-after female in hip-hop. Both those songs at one point charted 1 and 2, making her the first female to achieve this. Ashanti was a star with the beginnings of a future superstar and icon. She never quite reached those plateaus. Stunt number 1, taking a break to act/Fed case. If we're going in order, I would say the initial reason Ashanti lost steam mid-prime was her taking almost 4 years off from releasing an album to pursue an acting career. I remember back in 2001 when Ashanti dropped the song Foolish and hearing it play from cars outside our high school basketball gym, and it had the entire parking lot frozen enjoying the song. First off, it was familiar with the males and females because it had the Biggie One More Chance sample, originally DeBarge Stay With Me, and featured one of the original non-GMO/BBL baddies of my generation on her first solo effort. Foolish went on to become Ashanti's biggest song to date, landing at number 1 on the charts and went double platinum. She then released another hit, Happy, featuring Ja Rule, that was top 10 and top 15 Baby to round off her debut and best-selling album. Ashanti was it at one point. Summer 2003, All Baby single dropped and peaked at number 2 on the charts, leading to her second straight platinum album. Rain on Me, another top 10 song, was also on the album, as it stamped Ashanti as a viable artist with a chance to become the top female R&B act. Her third album, December 4th, was her first solo winter release that sold well first week, but a month later was overshadowed by the federal arrest of Irv Gotti for money laundering and Murder Inc. being dropped by Def Jam because of it. They refused to promote her second single, Don't Let Them, but the album still went platinum, marking the final time she would receive such an honor. It could be because of this or her wanting to expand her entertainment endeavors, but the next 3 years, she would go into acting, first in 2005's Coach Carter and the Muppets' Wizard of Oz, 2006's John Tucker Must Die, and 2007's Resident Evil Extinction. She returned to music in 2008, releasing her fourth album. This time, it showed a disconnect where the album didn't go platinum and didn't receive much attention from fans. 3 years is a long time in music to be away. Because of that small hiatus, many of her fans either grew past her or on to other artists. With everything going on with Murder Inc. / The Feds and Def Jam, I can understand her distancing herself, but it cost her musically. Stunt number 2, Love and Business. In 2009, Irv Gotti officially released Ashanti from the renamed The Inc., formerly Murder Inc. Many knew at the time, but most found out later that she and Irv at some point were involved in an intimate relationship, and in hindsight, that proved to be the biggest detriment to her career. Being in the studio constantly with a guy that changed your life and had the power to do it more must have been a lot of pressure, especially when true feelings start to develop. Whether she used her power to get what she needed from Irv or not, the two began a secret relationship behind the scenes, and either because of the Fed case, the G-Unit pressures that turned street, or Ashanti just becoming tired of whatever she was or wasn't getting from Gotti, she informed him she didn't want to throw up the Murder Inc. sign anymore, and in Irv's words, that cut him deep. She asked to be released from the label, and after consideration, Irv did just that. I'm guessing at the same time, their intimate relationship ended as well. This hurt Ashanti because Irv held the keys to the car she thought she was driving off with in the form of her master recordings. In 2022, he did an interview with Drink Champs and explained just how deep in Ashanti's pockets he was and will remain because he was scorned at how she left him and his label. As it stands, she'll probably never get those back. Stunt number 3 ran its course. After her 2008 release, Ashanti took another 6 years off before releasing an album in 2014, one that did land at 10 on the charts, making that 5 straight for her, but it produced no hits and sold just 28,000 first week, signaling that Ashanti's popularity had completely faded. Since 2014, she hasn't released another album, but is still dealing with a scorned Irv Gotti telling the world how she left him and did him wrong, all while she refuses to own up to the two having a private relationship. She did admit to them being intimate and criticized him for his size or lack thereof, which I'm sure shrunk his ego, no pun. But the fact still remains that in some way he still owns Ashanti, at least on paper, when it comes to the albums the two worked on together. Can Ashanti's career get back on track over 20 years later? Probably not, and it's safe to say she had a solid career, but fell short of expectations. All in all, navigating a business like the entertainment industry as an attractive female has its perks, and it also has its disadvantages. Ashanti experienced most of those disadvantages because she signed to a person that turned out to be her biggest gift and curse in music. That relationship dictated her first hiatus, her second growth stunt, and is holding her back even today. For better or worse, she used her talent and female powers to get where she is and has to live with her career turning out to be what it is, which is not so bad. Salute, much respect to Ashanti. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth Music, and I'm out.